Stop what you are doing right now, because the news coming out of Dunedin this week is piling up faster than anyone expected, and it is all pointing in exactly the same direction. This is better than we thought. Not a little better. Significantly better. Across every single storyline that matters for the 2026 Toronto Blue Jays, the ace of the future, the depth behind him, the farm system fueling the next decade, and the veteran Hall of Famer who showed up in Dunedin this week and made every coach in the building immediately rethink their expectations. Everything is tracking in a direction that should have every Blue Jays fan in Canada absolutely buzzing. If you are not subscribed to this channel yet, do that right now and ring the notification bell, because we are covering the Blue Jays every single day, and what we are unpacking today is the kind of comprehensive update that changes the way you look at this team heading into opening day on March 26th. Let us get into every detail of it. Let us start with the most important piece of news and the one that every Blue Jays fan needed to hear most urgently. Trey Yesavage is healthy. 100% healthy. That is not us spinning a positive angle on a complicated situation. That is the exact word coming directly from the player himself, confirmed independently by multiple Sportsnet reporters and organizational sources speaking to journalists across the Grapefruit League complex in Dunedin. He is healthy. His arm feels good. He has already thrown a live batting practice session against real hitters on the complex and is expected to do so again in the coming days as the Blue Jays carefully map out the path to his Grapefruit League debut sometime in the next week. Yesavage said directly that he is good with the slow build-up plan. He has bought in completely. He understands why it is happening and he agrees with the reasoning behind it. To fully appreciate why that single word, healthy, carries so much weight and generates so much relief inside the Blue Jays organization right now, you have to understand the arithmetic of what Trey Yesavage's body went through in the 12 months preceding this spring training camp. After being drafted 20th overall out of East Carolina University in July 2024, the Blue Jays immediately shut him down for the rest of the season with 93 1/3 innings in his NCAA career already banked. They gave him a long, structured off-season recovery period designed to protect the arm before his professional debut. Then 2025 happened. He started the year in Single-A Dunedin. He was in Double-A New Hampshire before the calendar reached June. He was in Triple-A Buffalo by August. He was making his Major League debut in September. He was on a World Series mound in October and throwing 12 strikeouts against the Los Angeles Dodgers with 0 walks in Game 5. A combination that has never been achieved in World Series history by any pitcher ever. When he threw his last pitch of the 2025 postseason on November 1st, his total innings logged for the calendar year had reached 139 2/3. Combined with the 93 1/3 from his college season, his arm had essentially been working for 2 continuous years without a genuine long-form rest period. This is why manager John Schneider sat down with Sportsnet's Ben Nicholson-Smith and was so direct and specific about the plan. He said it would be unrealistic to hand Yesavage 32 starts and 200 innings in his first full Major League season and simply send him out there every 5 days and hope for the best. He confirmed the organization would be strategic. He acknowledged that there would likely be times throughout the season where they skip a start, push back a mound appearance, or bring in a 6th starter to cover innings, depending entirely on how Yesavage's arm and recovery metrics respond week by week. He also said something that carries enormous significance for the long term. He does not want to pigeonhole this into a rigid innings limit where they cut 5 or 6 starts from his schedule arbitrarily. If Yesavage is feeling fantastic and his body is responding beautifully, they are going to let that guide the process rather than a number on a whiteboard. The best-case scenario Schneider is targeting is Yesavage ready to throw 5+ innings by opening day. The floor is 3 to 4 inning outings to begin the year, which the organization has explicitly said they are completely comfortable with. And the non-negotiable is that he is doing all of this at the Major League level, not Triple-A Buffalo. He has proven he belongs. Schneider said it as clearly as it can be said. They think he has proven that he belongs on the team. His arsenal, for anyone who needs a refresher on exactly why managing this carefully is so important to the franchise's competitive window, is truly elite across 4 pitches. His fastball sits 93 to 96 with a consistent tick of 97, graded as a 60 on the 20-80 scouting scale. His slider sits 86 to 89 and is his primary weapon against right-handed hitters, graded at 55. His splitter, the pitch that made the Dodgers look like they had never held a bat before in Game 5, is graded at 70, which is as close to an elite secondary pitch as any evaluator in baseball will describe, and it generated a 58% whiff rate across his postseason appearances. And he releases the ball from a release point approaching 7 feet off the ground, one of the highest in professional baseball, which creates a downward angle on everything he throws that is genuinely different from what hitters see every other day on the mound. This is a potential front-of-the-rotation starter who is 22 years old and already in the major leagues with World Series heroics on his resume. Taking an extra week in spring training is not a problem. It is the right call. Now let us talk about the broader farm system picture, because MLB Pipeline dropped their official updated Blue Jays top 30 prospects list this week, and the full scope of what Keegan Matheson revealed should be enormously exciting for anyone who follows this organization beyond just the 26 names on the active roster. Yesevich sits at number 1 in the system, ranked 12th in all of baseball, which is both an honor and a near formality given that he is already a World Series performer who still qualifies for rookie status. Number 2 in the system is shortstop JoJo Parker, ranked 45th in all of baseball, graded as the best pure hitter in the entire organization by multiple evaluators and a player whose bat projects to develop into one of the most consistent offensive contributors this franchise has produced since Bo Bichette. Number 3 is shortstop Arjun Nimmala, ranked 77th in all of baseball, with elite defensive ability and rapidly improving offensive production, a player who was spotted taking ground balls at third base alongside Vladimir Guerrero Jr. himself during an informal fielding session in Dunedin last week. 3 prospects in the top 100 in all of baseball. For a team that traded Carl Steven, Kendry Rojas, and Juron Watts-Brown at last July's deadline to acquire Shane Bieber, Louis Varland, and Seranthony Dominguez, maintaining that level of top-end talent in the system represents genuine organizational excellence. But the names lower on the list are where things get genuinely compelling from a 2026 roster impact perspective, and there are 2 specific players you need to be watching extremely closely between now and opening day. The first is outfielder R.J. Schreck, who ranks 9th in the organization with a 2026 ETA on his prospect profile. Baseball America gave Schreck their Best Strike Zone Discipline Award across the entire Blue Jays organization, which is one of the most underrated prospect tools a player can possess because it translates immediately to the major league level regardless of what pitching adjustments opponents make. His AAA numbers last year told the story of a hitter who is ready, .242 batting average and .392 on-base percentage in 234 AAA plate appearances, with a maximum exit velocity of 109.4 miles per hour. He is hitting .250 this spring. He is not going to be on the opening day roster, most likely. But MLB Pipeline's Matheson said in a recent AMA session that Schreck can do it in 2026, meaning make the big league club this year, and the Blue Jays Nation coverage has him as the first prospect they turn to when a big league outfield spot needs to be filled. Keep his name circled. The second name is Josh Kasvik, who ranks 13th in the organization and is currently making every scout at TD Ballpark reconsider exactly when they should expect to see him in Toronto. His spring training numbers are the kind of line that makes you check the source twice to make sure you read it correctly. Through 13 at-bats this spring, Kasvik is hitting .462 with a home run, 2 RBIs, 6 hits, and 0 strikeouts. Against professional pitching in front of organizational brass and scouts, in a competition for a major league roster spot, Kasvik has made contact every single time he has come to the plate and has not struck out once. The organization's love for him is something that the MLB.com Blue Jays coverage put plainly this week. If Ross Atkins, Mark Shapiro, or the player development staff keep mentioning the same name over and over, you listen. They have been mentioning Kasvik over and over for 2 years. He looks great in camp after injuries torpedoed his 2025 season, and he is driving the ball harder than evaluators have ever seen from him to complement what they have always described as rock-solid defense. MLB.com said explicitly that there are a lot of people in the organization who see a big leaguer in Kasvik, and soon. When a .462 spring training average with 0 strikeouts is the context, soon feels like it could mean April. And then there is Max Scherzer, who showed up to camp Tuesday night after the signing was made official at approximately 9:30 Eastern, walked onto the practice mound the following morning in full Blue Jays uniform, and proceeded to throw a bullpen session that left pitching coach Pete Walker and John Schneider standing behind the mound looking at each other with grins they were barely suppressing. The deal is official. He is ramping up faster than anyone expected. His Grapefruit League debut against the Philadelphia Phillies is confirmed for this Saturday, where he plans to throw multiple innings. Initial reports from the signing had suggested he might not be game-ready until late April or even early May. Scherzer himself crushed that timeline Tuesday when he said he has been throwing to minor league free agent hitters at his home in Jupiter, Florida throughout the winter without even having a contract in hand, keeping his arm sharp and his mechanics dialed in because that is what 41-year-old future Hall of Famers who are chasing one more ring do in the offseason. He confirmed he feels healthy, that his thumb issues from 2025 are fully resolved, and that he will be ready for the first week of the regular season. The rotation picture that emerges when you put all of these pieces together is almost uncomfortably deep for a single team to possess. Kevin Gausman is the ace and he is untouchable. Dylan Cease received a 7-year, $210 million investment and is the unquestioned co-headliner. Trey Yesavage is ramping up on his own timeline and is locked into a rotation spot at the major league level. Jose Berrios is healthy and competitive. Cody Ponce is showing good stuff in spring outings and brings 180 innings of professional experience from the Japanese league to his preparation. Eric Lauer wants to start and has the stuff and the motivation of a contract year to back that desire up. Shane Bieber is on the injured list but is expected back within the first month of the regular season. And Max Scherzer is throwing bullpen sessions on Wednesday with a Grapefruit League debut on Saturday and a self-declared opening day readiness declaration already on record. The Blue Jays lost Game 7 of the World Series in extra innings on November 1st. Every decision this organization has made since that night, every signing, every roster move, every strategic choice about how to manage Yesavage's arm and when to use Lauer and whether to bring Scherzer back, has been made in service of making sure that what happened on that night never happens again. The farm system is deep enough to fuel both development and trades. The major league roster is built around veterans who know what October pressure feels like and young players who have already proven themselves in those moments. And the man who struck out 12 Dodgers without a single walk in Game 5 of the World Series is healthy, motivated, and about to step onto a Grapefruit League mound for the first time in 2026 as the organization manages him with exactly the care and strategic precision that a generational talent deserves. This is better than we thought. Significantly better. And opening day is 3 weeks away. Now we want everything from you in the comments right this second. Are you fully comfortable with the Yesavage ramp-up plan, and do you trust Schneider and the organization to manage it correctly through October? Which prospect excites you most from the new pipeline rankings? Kasvik hitting .462 with 0 strikeouts, Shrek's elite plate discipline, or someone further down the list who caught your eye? And does Max Scherzer being potentially ready for opening day change the entire rotation calculus in a way you were not expecting when the signing was first announced? Tell us all of it. Smash that like button if you believe this Blue Jays team is better prepared for the 2026 World Series than they were at any point last year. Subscribe to this channel right now because we are covering every single development from Dunedin every single morning between now and October. Share this with every Blue Jays fan you know. The spring is unfolding exactly the way the